Picked the day for it, bruh.
The day picked us.
Indeed. It's been a little while.
A long while?
A little while, a long while. Same. How's your paw feeling?
It's all right.
Got some claw action. Take my strong hand.
Yeah. They said 8 weeks. It's been 4. So,
Yeah.
halfway there.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty good.
We're at the point now where got a new project in. Been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Going to be pretty heavy on the fabrication in this one, so you're going to need your hand.
Yes.
So I've given it the best chance we can for just doing absolutely nothing for a couple of weeks and make sure that, it actually heals, because, having a hand is handy.
Yeah, it is. Very.
Without further ado, I say we get into it.
Yeah,
what do you reckon?
Let's have a look.
So here she is, 1982 VH Commodore Wagon. A little bit different. Obviously we've been doing a fair bit of VH stuff on the channel up until now, but we've got a long roof K-Fizzy.
Not bad.
Now this belongs to our good mate Caden, and he's been a long roof fiend from way back. Way back. When I first met him and we were both working at Hungry Jack's, he actually had a VK wagon at the time with 253 cubes of fury and about 250,000 watts worth of stereo with 5 screens and screens on screens, which was pretty awesome back in the day. We thought we were King Dick. Now he's got this one. Now this is actually a project I started about 6 years ago with Caden, and there's been multiple plans to sort of get it back on the road over the years, and now we finally twisted his arm to get stuck in. So it didn't always look like this. It's obviously looking a little bit worse for wear at the moment, but the plan obviously was to get it all resprayed. It actually was a pretty clean wagon. If you come around here, it's got a different coloured guard on it, which that guard was essentially the only real damage that it had on it. There's a little bit of spot rust here and there around the car, which you can see bits of primer where it's been rubbed back. It had the coffin racks on top, but it's actually a pretty clean unit. This also had a little 253 and a trimatic, which it was cool for a little while, but it certainly wasn't going to cut the mustard. So Caden actually bought a donor car, and we grabbed all the running gear out of that. And what it's got now, or what we've started to do now, is another trusty 5 litre.
Surprise, surprise.
Who would have thought? Another Holden 5 litre, of course. What else would we be doing? And as I say, this project started a long time ago, and looking back on it now, there's certainly some things I would have done differently, wouldn't you say, Kurt?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, that's it. We've come a long way in a short space of time, I reckon. I did plant the seed with Caden to put a turbo on this thing, and he actually found a VS Ute with a turbo and all the running gear. 5 litre. It's actually got a Borg Warner T56 6-speed manual, and we've put a VL turbo rear end in it. That Ute was running a GT3582 turbo with an old Haltech EX6 GMX ECU. Probably great for the time, but I think we've come a long way since then.
Yeah, a long way.
We did pluck all the stuff out of the Ute and put most of it in here, but now technology's moved and we're going to be sort of redoing it somewhat again. The engine's going to stay the same though. This is a stock bottom end 5 litre. I have done a 284 cam and valve springs in it. It's a pretty clean engine actually. When we took it all apart and had a look, and yeah, it was a nice unit. As I said before, if we go in here, we've got that lovely T56 6-speed and the VL turbo. We just pulled all the guts out and put it into a Wagon housing. And yeah, that's kind of where it all stopped. But 6 years on, we're going to breathe some life back into this bad girl. And we've got somewhat of a plan, don't we, Kurt?
Yeah, we've got a plan.
Nice. Well, I'm going to hand it over to you and you can show us what you're working with. I'm going to take this transition to remind you guys to visit our website. That's www.torqhub.com.au. When you're there, not only can you see our most recent uploads and some of our past builds, but you can also send us a voice message for the podcast. And while you're there, you can check out our merch store. As you can see behind me, we are stocked up with hoodies because winter is coming. Now, don't wait until the cold gets you. Put your order in now and we'll send them out to you as soon as possible. That's www.torqhub.com.au. But that's enough of that. Let's get back to the video. What are you doing down there, brah? I did say we were going to do a turbo, so it would be up, nah?
Oh, no. So with this one, if you have a quick look at some of the stickers and just the general overall theme of this car, it's going for the sleeper look, as we all call it.
So when Caden used to drive this thing around with the 253, it was, you know, it was sitting pretty low, clean on wheels, had like the full crocheted rug over the back seat and a picnic basket in the back and all that sort of stuff. And it kind of wants to retain that feel for the car, but a little bit more special.
So instead of putting the turbo that we have to put on this engine in the front, we're going to put it up the back here. Like Jeff said before, both himself and Caden did, you know, most of this work 5-6 years ago or whatever. One day, Caden got left by himself with, I think, an angle grinder and a hole saw, and he made a bit of a mess up the back here, which is kind of good in a way because it's given me some room to put the turbo in the back here, but I do need to do some repairs and stuff along the way to get it back to a serviceable state. So
yeah, there's meant to be a spare wheel well down there.
Yeah, that's gone. So
where's the fuel tank?
It's a flat piece of alley at the moment, but yeah, we're gonna have to fabricate a new fuel tank for it. The rear mount turbo, being rear mount, the oil is going to need a pump, a scavenge pump to get the oil back to the motor, so we're going to need to make a tank for the drain oil for the scavenge pump, and probably about 50 other bits and pieces as well. So, but the good news is, at the moment we've got heaps of room, so there's heaps of
the bones are there. The bones are there.
On the donor car, like Jeff said before, they just had like your general XR6 turbo spec GT35. This is only really slightly bigger. This is a GTW 3884. So this is it's got the billet wheel in the front of it. It's a 67mm inducer on this one. So this turbo is basically the old TO4Z, and they've just put a new comp cover on it, or even just machined the comp cover out for the billet wheel. So I'm not even sure what these are rated to horsepower wise, but we're not shooting for much. We're aiming for like, I think it'll do around 400 to the wheels on its pump fuel 98 only. So that's sort of what we're aiming for. 400, it should be, you know, that should really be where we land. Maybe a little bit more, a bit less. We'll just see on the day, I guess. But journal bearing turbo, so no water. So that makes plumbing, you know, that's 2 less lines we need to run from the front of the car to the back, so that's good. But I think overall it's going to be a pretty cool little combo. You definitely won't see another one like this anyway. So
yeah, we've always been curious about a rear mount setup since watching Griff's rear mount turbo here on YouTube.
Yeah, Skid Factory, they've done
a
few bits and pieces. Nugget Garage has done an awesome one as well with that Supra. So definitely got some stuff out there to get ideas from and lessons that have been learnt, so it's
Yeah,
good.
definitely keen to get stuck in. This is going to be, yeah, just a sweet weekend cruiser, street car only. Like it'll rarely see the track, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's why 6-speed, pump fuel.
One of the key features as well, what we want to do is with the bonnet popped, much like, now I'm throwing it way back, all you guys back in like the Calais turbo days, there was a dude on there, Azza, that had a blue VL Calais and it was turboed 5 litre. You could not tell that it was turboed under the bonnet. It had like a stock airbox and stuff, so we're going for that sort of look as well. So like,
That's it.
you know, even if the constabulary have a look under there, you're going to need a super keen eye to pick it. I'm going to try my best to make it look like just an EFI 304 conversion, basically.
So there won't be much added to in here apart from what already is. So you can already see that we've started planning how we're going to run the cooler piping through the airbox into the throttle body. And there's going to be some more tidying up to do.
There's definitely
some age on this thing.
Yeah, and being that I'm here, I'm just like, nah, this looks shit, that looks shit. So we're going to redo a few things.
Yeah.
There's, you know, technology's evolved in the last 6 years for sure, and we've sort of gotten a bit pickier. So we'll try and get it. You know, it looks pretty grubby with some of the paint and stuff, but we'll definitely throw some powder coat around and, you know, dress some things up a bit nicer and have it just looking clean and tidy. So nothing, no show car stuff, but just clean and tidy and respectable.
Yeah. I guess we need to address one elephant in the room, mate, and that is just down here.
A hidden elephant.
Your mate, the Gilmer drive.
He's going in the bin, mate. Hey, he's going.
Might have to chat to our boys at Reed Speed to see if we can't get a drive kit. But we are looking to keep the clutch fan on this one. We're not going to go thermos.
Yeah, we did just mush this in there the other day just to see if it'll work, because
the radio's been moved a bit.
Yeah, there was a workshop that previously sort of had a bit of a play with some of this stuff in between when you guys started on it and since it's made it here. So there's been a bit of shuffling with the radiator down the bottom and stuff. So we just needed to confirm that the clutch fan assembly will work. There is some mods to do to that radiator support panel, but it's all pretty basic stuff and it should work good. The factory cooling system on these is amazing. So yeah, we'll get it all tidied up and, you know, maybe do a little bit of dressy stuff here and there, and it should be a beautiful thing.
So once it's done, it'll look like a pretty basic, clean engine bay, like you said before, as if this came out with a 304 from factory is how we want this thing to look when it's done.
Yeah, and I'm going to do my best to try and make it sound like that as well. Like, there's not going to be much exhaust from that turbo. I'm basically just going to be able to squeeze a muffler. There's going to be a bit of pipe and a muffler, and then we're there. So I'm going to try and get the biggest sort of muffler I can get in there to knock down as much noise as I can. We want to keep this low key.
And I guess the final updates we got is got a VZ Master booster and VT style front brakes on here with the VL rear brakes. Then to bring this thing into the 21st century, Kurt, we're going to run it on a Holly.
It's our first Holly.
It is, and we're actually pretty excited about it. So we're going to run this thing on a Terminator X setup with the Holly universal engine harness as well. So that's going to be an interesting little caper for all you guys if you're interested in using a Holly with a 5 litre, getting that to work with the stock distributor and coil, which will be a nice little science experiment for us to get going. And I reckon it'll be a great thing, because although he probably doesn't know it yet, that means we can get one of the best tuners in the game, Jeff Johnson, to run his fingers over the keys on it for us. Yeah. Shout out to you, Jeff.
It's a pretty cheap system really for as far as feature sets go.
That's right, yeah.
It's packed really, and it's got the startup wizard and stuff with the Terminator. So.
A lot of people, particularly being a manual, they'd say just use the Haltech plug-in with the stock harness, which is something, it's an option that Caden had explored at the time, but it certainly has its limitations.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen this one, so we just went with it. You know, we've been wanting to do one for a while. So,
yeah.
You know, and you guys out there that maybe you've just got like a car sort of like mine with the electronic auto in it, like a 4L60 or something, you can get the Terminator X Max, which can do the trans control as well. There's not many there's not many, if any, EFI systems that can do that in that sort of price bracket as well. So,
No.
So it's a good little system. I'm keen to see how it goes.
Well, I think we've rambled on long enough. This is a sweet little intro here for the bad grandpa wagon.
Yes.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us, mate. It's actually funny because now looking over it, before the car got dropped off, I was telling Kurt all the things that I'd done to it, but now I can see all the things that still haven't been done yet.
Yeah.
And you think that you've got most of it, but you definitely don't.
No, that's right. So we're waiting on a heap of parts, and there's still more to order as well. So
Yeah. Well,
trying to be sensible, getting what we need.
Yeah. That's it for now.
Thanks for watching. If you want some merch, you know where to go, torqhub.com.au. Check it out.
Winter's
Support your
coming, boys.
Yeah. Thanks for the support and thanks for watching. We'll see you again really soon.
Catch you on the next one.
Fuck, that's good tape though. Or a shit hand, which is probably a shit hand now.